With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State.
But you know, as they say, hail to the Redskins. Let's roll, man. Let's go.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sisterin. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. Remember once upon a time I asked you a very poignant question, and it was very simple, straight to the point, and I got a lot of feedback on it, and it was a fun topic, but I never thought we would actually be at this point. But remember when I asked you, would you trade Dan Snyder out as owner for a brand new name? If you could get rid of Daniel Snyder, but you could get a new name, but you'd have to take a new name, would you do it? And, you know, I was surprised at the responses. Most of you said, nah, I'll deal with Dan. I don't want to change the name. So, looks like we're going to have to change the name, and you may still have a chance to coup that opportunity that I put out on the table some 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whenever I posed that question to you guys. Well, there's a sliver of hope that Daniel Snyder may sell his shares of the Redskins and be out as Redskins owner. Let me tell you, however, don't hold your damn breath if you think Daniel Snyder's going any goddamn where, okay? Daniel Snyder isn't selling his stake in this football team. He's the majority owner, and he owns roughly 60% of this football team. What I didn't know, however, and, you know, I knew about the minority owners, and they obviously won out. Robert Rothman, Dwight Shaw, and Fred Davis, or Fred Smith, are your three minority owners, and apparently they all want out. Fred Smith, the latter of the trio, being the owner of FedEx, who obviously is the namesake of the stadium. And so we don't know if they're actually going to sell their shares or not. And that roughly comes to right around 40% of this Redskins organization. But I mean, that kind of tells you the state of where this organization is, where you're coming to a point where these minority owners want a name change. They're probably going to get their wish, which may net them a brand new stadium and a bunch of new revenue, and they still want out. Now, obviously, this COVID situation has the NFL season up in limbo, and maybe this is as good a time as any to get out for those guys who might have been really frustrated with Daniel Snyder this entire time. Whether that's the case or not, Daniel Snyder isn't selling the team. If I were you, I wouldn't be getting my damn hopes up whatsoever. You know, Daniel Snyder doesn't want to change this team's name. I think he is a pariah in league circles. I don't think this league is very happy with him, nor the direction of this organization. I think they are the ones really behind the scenes pushing for these entities to really start to put the pressure on Dan Snyder to change the name. Like, even if they're not spearheading it, they're not upset about it. I can tell you that much. And they're probably more so excited that they've put the kind of pressure that they've put on Daniel Snyder to at once and for all have to make a decision that he's been running from for quite some time, and that's changing the name. But I'm going to tell you right now, Daniel Snyder isn't selling this team. As much as I would like to see it done, as much as I would like to see a guy like Jeff Bezos, and that's the name that's been really floated out there, and that was a name that was floated out there a while back. Keep in mind, Daniel Snyder is the majority owner. So the minority owners can't do anything to get him out. There's nothing that can be done. And again, anything short of sexual assault, as we saw in Carolina with Jerry Richardson, or overt racism like we saw with Donald Sterling in the NBA with the Los Angeles Clippers, you're not going to see an owner be forced out. It just doesn't happen. So unless Dan Snyder isn't having any fun anymore and is so upset about potentially having to change the name that he wants out, I don't see him going anywhere. And I look, what I didn't, and I told you, I've been consuming a lot of this name change and Daniel Snyder, majority owner versus minority owners discussion. I've been consuming a lot of this stuff, and what I didn't realize, because I think this is a misconception, at least one that I myself have fallen victim to, in thinking that if you own a sports entity, if you own a team in any league, any of the 4 major leagues, then you probably are wealthy beyond my wildest imagination. And that even though the entity that you own is a huge part of your assets that make up your wealth and your fortunes, it's not the end all be all. Like, there are other things that if you got rid of your organization, you'd still be very wealthy. And, you know, you have to think about this in relative terms. Like, look, they're wealthy and our wealthy are 2 different things. But what I didn't realize is that Daniel Snyder's wealth is really tied to this Redskins organization. You know, the evaluation of this team being worth over $3 billion is essentially why Daniel Snyder himself is worth the money that he's worth. Without this organization, now you can't take the organization away, because if he sells it, he's going to make a boatload of money. But unlike the Los Angeles Rams owner, Stan Kroenke, who was able to go and literally build his own stadium out of his own pocket, he could finance it. Daniel Snyder cannot do that, which is why he needs the state to help him fund a new stadium. I didn't realize that most of Daniel Snyder's assets are tied into this organization, and he's not among the wealthiest owners in this league. And so he's not on that same wavelength as a Jerry Jones and some of the other owners that are ridiculously wealthy. And, you know, even with their football franchises or basketball entities or MLB entities, they still got a ton of money outside of that. That's not what Daniel Snyder essentially is set up in terms of his financials. Now, again, you have to keep it in relative terms. He's still got a lot of money without this football team, but not the kind that you would think. And so I just don't see him selling this football team. I just don't, you know, and he'd make a ton of money if he was looking to get out. This would be the time. But even the minority owners seem to be having a tough time finding people that want to buy in to this organization. So it's hard to say what's going to transpire, but I can tell you this much. And I don't know anything, but I feel like I know this. Dan Snyder is not selling the team. Do not hold your damn breath, okay? As much as I would like to start this thing off brand new and fresh, it ain't happening. Daniel Snyder's going to be here, and we'll see where this thing goes and what they decide to do. But one thing's for sure. Daniel Snyder not going to sell this team. And if you were hoping for that to take place, keep wishing, okay? And I've never been one to be a dream crusher, but I'm going to crush this dream for you right now. It's not happening, okay? But, you know, why not dream, okay? Daniel Snyder, look, they're going to change the name. Why not change the owner? You know, we talked about this a long time ago. Would you sacrifice the team name to get rid of Daniel Snyder? Well, seems like we're going to have to sacrifice the team name. Might as well move on from Daniel Snyder in the process. We'll see. I won't say it never will happen in all caps, like Daniel Snyder said back in 2013 with the name, in terms of it being changed. But I think that this is a very, very small chance that this thing takes place. Okay, I don't see Daniel Snyder going anywhere. This is his pride and joy. You know, this is one of his few things he can lay claim to, and I just don't see him abandoning it now, even though he's going to have to do something that he probably never thought he was going to have to do, and that's change the name. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. I've got more videos coming down the pipeline. And let's talk some football. You know, we've talked about a lot of different things. Let's talk some actual ball. So I've got a couple of other videos. As I've mentioned, since I've been away, a lot has transpired, and I want to tackle all of them. So I'll be back officially on July 19th. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to jump back on, get into my normal spot, Is it the 19th? No, it's July 16th. Excuse me. I misspoke. July 16th is when I'll be back officially. Thursday, July 16th. I think I said on another video the 19th. That's incorrect. July 16th, Thursday. I believe it's next Thursday, as a matter of fact. I will be back live and in color, and we will be discussing all things Redskins. But until then, hopefully these videos will be able to hold you over unless something else major breaks. I'll see you then on Thursday, July 16th. But until then, you guys take care and stay safe. And we will reconvene and continue to talk shop about the burgundy and gold. Until then, you guys take care.
Louie T Network.